Yo, welcome back to Vikez Vibez. This is DJ as always. Yeah. So, hey, how are we feeling, Vikings fans, after that win? Yes, it was another close one. And man, we had it, and then at the end, we gave them hope, and but you know, the thing of it is we got the job done. So that's the main part. We're 14-2. Uh, swept the Packers. We swept the Bears. It all comes down to next week. Do we want to be the 5th seed or do we want to be the 1st seed? You know, I yesterday what was the game, and me and Jaren. If you don't know, me and Jaren, we unveiled Skullcast. Right on my shirt here, which is like our live watch parties that we used to do. But now I'm also kind of doing play-by-play to let people know what's going on in the game without actually showing them, because that'd be copyright. I can't show the game. So, for people out there that don't have cable or can't watch a game in their area or anything, it was actually a suggestion from a fan on a comment, and I thought it was a good idea, so I went with it. So, yeah, we unveiled that. We launched it yesterday. If you didn't get a chance to watch it live, you can go back and watch it. Go to our YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Just add Vikez Vibez. Hit the subscribe button. You can go back and watch the whole thing if you want. Relive the game with us. Our reactions and play-by-play is on there. Much appreciated if you go subscribe. Also, I do weekly TikToks as well. Recaps of games, the highlights. I add some effects in there, stuff like that. Pretty cool, I guess. So make sure to go check out the TikTok as well. That's been pretty hopping lately. So to get to the game, me and Jim were really nervous going into this game, just because it's a divisional game. They're always tough, especially the Packers. Kind of the scoring drives summary. In the first quarter, there was only one score. That was the McManus 22-yard field goal for the Packers. And in the second quarter, that's when we started to pick it up. We got the 31-yard touchdown to Jalen Naylor. Now, before the game, I asked Jaren these questions. Who's going to have more yards, this and that. And one of the questions yesterday was, who's going to be the leading receiver for the Vikings? And, we all thought, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. And I said, my gut thought it was Addison. I thought it was going to be Addison. That's what my gut told me. But then I said, we could get shocked, and it could be, Jalen Naylor. It could be Brandon Powell. It could be TJ Hawkins. It could be anyone, to be totally honest, with this team. And it ended up being pretty close. I mean, Jalen Naylor was the leading receiver throughout the most of the game. He finished with 81 yards, 5 receptions, and a touchdown. But Justin Jefferson got him beat by 11 yards. He finished with 92 with 8 receptions. So, and then Jordan Addison came in third there, 69 yards, a touchdown on 6 receptions. TJ Hawkinson with 5 receptions, 68 yards. He had some really good crucial catches in this game. After he kind of let me down last week with those drops. It made me a little nervous watching Donald throw to him this week after how he was last week. But yeah, and then you know what? Before I go on with the scoring drives, this Minnesota Vikings kicking curse, is it back? Like, what is going on with Reichard? He has made a 58-yarder this year. He goes out for a 57-yarder and he misses it. Then he goes out for, what was it, a 55-yarder, and he doinks it. Is this kicking curse back? What are we? Should we have kept Parker Romo, or what? I mean, if it's gonna be like this going forward, going into the playoffs, I don't know, man. This kicking thing is just getting really old, man. It really is. Reichard needs to step it up and step it up now. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Going back to the scoring drives, the next scoring was a 25-yard field goal by Reichard, and then a 50-yard field goal by Reichard. And then in the third quarter, another touchdown pass by Sam Darnold to Jordan Addison for an 18-yard touchdown. That was sweet. And then the Packers did a touchdown, rushing touchdown, a 2-yard run by Josh Jacobs. And then the Vikings would get a short pass, a 9-yard pass from Darnold to Cam Akers for a touchdown. And then in the fourth quarter, the only points scored were by the Packers. They got 2 touchdowns in the fourth. The first one was Wilson, 5 yards, touchdown. And then the last one was Jordan Love pass for 3 yards to Heath for a touchdown. And they crawled their way back into this game. But, Sammy D was slinging it and doing what he does. Man, and when we had to have it, like Kevin O'Connell always says, when we had to have it, that last play, 3rd and 2, we needed that first down to seal the game. We do a little screen pass to Cam Akers. I don't know if the throw was a little short or what, but it was a little low. Cam Akers, he had to work for that catch. He had to basically scoop it up off the ground there. And he made sure he was going to get that ball in, and he did. Seal the game. We won by 2, 27-25. Sam Darnold had a career day, 33 of 43, 377 yards, 3 touchdowns with 1 pick. But god damn, this Sam Darnold, man, what a story. Like, I've said it before, there's no way in hell that the Vikings can just poof, let him walk. There's no way. Franchise tag him, I don't care. Like, this, like Jaron said, this team this year, it's special. It is. Yeah, we thought that Case Keenum in 2017, that team was special. This is way different. It's a way different vibe. Yes, 2017 was amazing. I loved it up until, we lost in Philly. But this year, it's different. It It just is. I can't explain how, but it just is. To go on with the stats, rushing, Aaron Jones 12 carries for 47 yards, Cam Akers 6 for 18. Receiving, we kind of hit that already. Fumbles, Brandon Powell did fumble. Technically, he muffed that punt, but we got it back. And then Jalen Naylor and Jerry Tillery actually had forced fumbles, and the one Naylor forced, the Packers got back, but the one Jerry Tillery was it on the first drive? I think it was on Packers' first drive, and Bynum picked it up. So, no interceptions, sacks. Blake Cashman with 1.5. Dallas Turner with 1. Andrew Van Ginkel with a half a sack. Kicking, Will Ricard 2 for 4. Lano 50. 3 for 3 on extra points. So, man, like I said, it all comes down to week 18. We've been grinding. We've won 9 straight games. Our last loss was in week 8, I think. Yeah, week 8. The Thursday night game against the Rams. That was October 24th. That was our last loss. Since then, we've beat the Colts, we've beat the Jaguars, we beat the Titans, we beat the Bears, we beat the Cardinals, we beat the Falcons, we beat the Bears again, we beat the Seahawks, we beat the Packers. Next up, week 18, for all the marbles, we go into Detroit, 14-2. Depending on what they do tonight, they should have the same record as us. And if not, if the 49ers end up beating them tonight, they'll be 13-3. That doesn't really matter in the playoff picture, though. We still need to beat them to get out of that 5th seed and into the 1 seed. So we've controlled our own destiny for quite a while now, and we still have it. It's still in our grasp. We gotta go into Detroit and take care of business. We gotta hush this Detroit fan base down. Like, they're just talking all sorts of smack. Oh yeah, you guys are gonna get smashed by us. Blah, blah. Last game it was close. Like, you didn't blow us out, so just stop. And I'll back up what I said. We coming. Week 18, we coming. We coming for that number 1 seed. So you better get ready. So to go on some player stats for the season leading into week 18, I'm sorry. Sam Darnold. He has 4,153 passing yards, 68.1% completion percentage, yards per game 259, a line of 97. That was in San Francisco. 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He's been sacked 46 times, and overall rating of 106.4. Damn. Rushing, Aaron Jones, 245 carries, 1,093 yards, an average of 4.5, long of 41, 5 touchdowns, 3 fumbles, 1 loss. Cam Akers, second there, only 58 carries, 232 yards, 4 yards average, 25 long, 1 touchdown. 0 fumbles. Receiving, Justin Jefferson, blowing everyone else out of the water. He's got 100 receptions on 145 targets, 1,479 yards, 14.8 average, 10 touchdowns, a long of 97, which is that San Francisco game I mentioned. Yards per game, 92.4. One fumble not lost. Yat is 466. And then Jordan Addison second, he's only played 14 games. He's got 62 receptions on 93 targets, 875 yards, average of 14.1, 9 touchdowns, long of 69, yards per game, 62.5. So Yak of 211. Then we go to defense. I'll just go with the sacks. Blake Cashman, 4.5. Harrison Smith has 1. Andrew Van Ginkel has 11.5 to lead the team, I believe. Ivan Pace Jr. has 3. Jonathan Bernard has 11. Harrison Phillips has 2. Pat Jones has 7. Dallas Turner, the rookie, has 3. Jalen Redmond, Big Red, got 1. Jihad Ward has 1. Jamin Davis has 1. And that's it. We have 47 total for the team this season. Then top scorers. Will Reichert actually is in first still with 101 points scored. 38 point afters, 21 field goals. And then Justin Jefferson second with 60 points scored, 10 touchdowns. So, yeah, that's really about it. Donald ain't gonna break 5,000 yards, but man, for the story, the storyline to be over 4,000 yards and to have 35 touchdowns, and this guy was a bust. He wasn't going to do nothing for us. I mean, he's got this team 14-2. He's got this team playing for the number 1 seed in the conference next week. Can you put some respect on his name now? I mean, if not, that's fine. We've said it before. We like to be the underdogs. We like no one talking about us. That's fine. Because our coach, we believe in this team. We believe in this coach. The coach said weeks ago, that's fine. But at the end of this, people are going to be talking about this freaking team. So, now I'll briefly go over the playoff picture as of right now. I'll start off with the AFC. So Kansas City has locked in the number 1 seed. They're 15-1. I think the Bills have locked up number 2, 13-3. And then at number 3 right now is the Ravens at 11-5. Then the Houston Texans in 4th spot at 9-7. And at 5th, we got the 10-6 Pittsburgh Steelers. And then in the 6th spot, we got the LA Chargers at 10-6. All those teams have clinched a playoff berth. There's 1 playoff spot remaining that's open in both conferences. So in the hunt, as of right now, in the 7th seed in the AFC is the Denver Broncos at 9-7. Then there's 2 other teams that have not been eliminated yet in the AFC. That's the 8-8 Dolphins and the 8-8 Cincinnati Bengals. Either of them could hop up and steal that 7th spot away from Denver. So it's going to be interesting, even on the NFC side. As of right now, before this Monday Night Football game against the Lions and 49ers. Currently, this second, when I'm recording, our Minnesota Vikings have the number 1 seed. According to NFL.com's playoff picture that I'm looking at right here on my other screen. So, Vikings, number 1 seed. Number 2 seed, Philadelphia Eagles, 13-3. 3rd seed, LA Rams at 10-6. The 4th seed is right now it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but Atlanta could come in there. You know, Atlanta's 8-8, Tampa is 9-7. Those are the only 2 teams in the NFC that have not clinched the playoff berth, that have not been eliminated. So currently, right now, in the 4th seed, it's Tampa Bay. In the 5th seed, we got the Detroit Lions at 13-2. The 6th seed, we got the Washington Commanders at 11-5 after their win last night against the Falcons. And 7th spot, we got the Green Bay Packers at 11-5. So a lot can change still. I believe tonight, if the Lions win, we will drop back down to that 5th spot. So, because our record would be tied with Detroit still. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting week 18 to say the least, man. And speaking of week 18. I'm not 100% sure. I'm about 95% sure that me and Jaron will be doing a live Skullcast during the Detroit Minnesota game, Sunday Night Football. It'll start at 7:00 p.m. Central Time. So tap in to the Vikez Vibez YouTube channel for our Skullcast live and come hang out with us during the game. Yeah. So now, what I'm going to do is, like I do every week when we win, which has been a lot this year, I am going to play the locker room speech from Kevin O'Connell, and it's a special one. I'll talk about it after I play it. So here it is.
I got one game ball for everybody in this room. You guys just finished your home season for now 7-1 this year. And we said we wanted to come back here and make this place what it needed to be one more time, which is these people going crazy watching you guys play football. I competed out for 60 minutes every out we get. All right, I know I love watching this team play, but it's obvious to me there's a whole lot of people that love everything about this team, what you're made of, the fight, and more importantly, your ability to go finish a game, just like we just did. All right, so everybody in here gets one of these. All right, but I want to talk about some folks. All right, this guy got off to a great start this year. All right, then showed up tonight, went for 5 for 81 yards and a touchdown. There's a lot of guys that have been through a lot of in this locker room, and you persevered. That's one of them right there. So proud of Jalen Naylor right there. So proud. All right, speaking of another guy who came here with a purpose, overcoming more adversity than many, many of us in here. All right, Cam Akers went in the game. That football game, and he had a mindset no matter what, he was coming down with that last football. We had another runner grinding through, got a little sore in there. This guy just passed 7,000 career rushing in his career. He's one of us, Aaron Jones. This guy came back on home on the defensive side. All right, defensive side. He made a ton of tackles last week. Probably deserved the game ball last week. All right, he went out tonight and had 11 more tackles, a sack and a half, and a TFL. Welcome back home for good, Blake Cashman. Another guy that took the ball away tonight. All right, forced it. And he's been showing up time and time again. The most selfless guy, I think, maybe on this team. The way he works and just grinds and shows up every day with a purpose. Jerry Tillery, man. You guys already made this one special right here. But understand something. Your quarterback went 33 of 43 for 377 and 3 touchdowns. I'm not done. Just set the team record for most passing touchdowns in his first season with 35. Just set his career highs for passing yards and completions in a game when we had to have it. And most importantly, team record for most wins as a starting quarterback, 14. Hey, last thing I got, and Sam will break us down. What have we been doing all year long? From the very beginning. 1-0. 1-0. 1-0. I don't have to tell you what 1-0 this next week means. I don't got to tell you. But all we know is we're going back to work. Come on. Break it down.
Hey, we know what we got to do this next week, man. We know what we got to do, man. Come out here, have a great week. Let's go. Here we go. Vikes on 3. 1, 2, 3. Vikes!
There it is. There's a part in that locker room speech. It actually happened before the speech part. Sam Darnold comes walking in, and everyone's going crazy, spraying him with water bottles, and picking him up. And they pan back into the background and show our head coach, Kevin O'Connell, just looking, admiring this team celebrating their 14th victory of the season. And I just can't help but think that in that moment that our coach is thinking, wow, look at what I have built. Look at this team. Look at how much fun this team is having. I guarantee you that there was not a single moment that any player was having this much fun when Mike Zimmer was here. I guarantee it. So, I mean, that moment right there when they showed Kevin O'Connell just looking and shaking his head like, oh my God, man, like this is special. Honestly, it made me want to start tearing up, to be honest. And I got like full body chills. And I mean, you call me crazy, but I mean, I'm just saying the truth, man. Like I can't help it. I'm so like invested in the Vikings. Obviously, if I wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this. The Vikez Vibez and putting in this work every single week. And there's so much more than just doing the videos every week. I mean, there's so much behind the scenes, and it means a lot to me. And any Vikings fan out there that is a true Vikings fan and deeply for their team. I mean, not just Vikings fan, any sports team, where I'm coming from. So next week, week 18, we're in Detroit, Sunday Night Football. You know, like it's been every week. Every week this season, 1-0. 1-0. Do not worry about the next game. Do not worry about the next opponent. No, just don't worry about that. Don't look ahead at all. Focus on what is in the now. Focus on the Lions. We beat the Packers. Forget about them. We're focused on the Lions now. Forget that. I mean, it's hard to forget that we're playing for the number 1 seed. But focus on what we do and what we can do better to beat this Lions team. Yeah, there's going to be nerves. There's going to be jitters because we all know what's at stake. That's hard to forget. But like I said, focus on Detroit. After that, then moved on to the next game. Don't be thinking ahead. So let's go 1-0 next week. Make sure to tap into the Skullcast at 7:00 p.m. Central Time Sunday night, and come hang out with me and Jaron for that. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. And Skull Vikings, and hopefully the Lions lose. See ya.